Good morning, everybody at Ruby Lane. I am Rachel, and I am here with Kelly.
Hi.
Kelly, what is your role here at the Denver Miniature Museum?
I am the assistant director here at the Denver Museum of Miniatures, Dolls, and Toys.
And we are here this morning because we are kicking off Doll Week, and there is something very exciting and special going on at the museum. Tell us about it.
We just put in a new Polly Pocket exhibit. It's on loan from one of our members. And we're really excited to have it because it's bringing back a lot of nostalgia for lucky people like you that got Polly Pockets and sad people like me that weren't allowed to.
But wanted one. Yes, so I'm going to turn this around because we are going to have Kelly take us through the exhibit. I, for one, had a Polly Pocket. I had several Polly Pockets, and they were everything. So the lady, well, actually, can you tell us a little bit about Polly Pocket?
Sure.
Yeah.
So Polly was actually created in 1983 by a German man trying to please his daughter. They had a little wooden doll, and he actually made the first Polly Pocket using a makeup compact. So if you think about your little CoverGirl compacts that they still make, the first Polly Pocket was made out of something like that. So that was in 1983. Then, not soon after, a British company named Bluebird Toys picked up the idea and they started making Polly Pockets. So the first Polly Pockets are British. They were first sold in stores in 1989, and it really started a huge fad. As you can see, these initial Polly Pockets, they are pretty small. The dolls are very small, but the details are really great. There's pictures on the walls. There's a wedding scene that's really cute. But so we have them all the way starting at 1989 and then working your way through the 90s up until the 2000s. The woman who gave us this collection on loan is a huge Polly Pocket fan. That could possibly be an understatement. She has thousands of them, and each set she has in triplicate. So she has one set that is out of the box, not to be played with. She has one set out of the box that can be played with, and she has one set in the box, never to be touched. So she was really generous and let us put her collection on exhibit. She did that because she came and she saw our Star Wars exhibit and was really excited to see that we were doing sort of contemporary toys, and so we opened it up for her as well. She is currently traveling the world and hasn't even seen her exhibit yet.
Oh, she hasn't seen her exhibit?
No, not yet.
Because this just opened.
It did. And she, I think, is in Australia right now. So she's,
wow.
I don't have a lot of sympathy for her, to be honest.
No. Do you know how old she is?
Yeah, she's probably 40s.
Okay.
She's probably 40s, but
How fun.
Yeah, all of this she left at her friend's house, and they have, a huge suburban house, and I went down and their entire basement was plastic tubs.
Full of Polly Pocket.
Full of Polly Pocket.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you are just tuning in, all of our friends at Ruby Lane, we are here live at the Denver Museum of Miniatures, Dolls, and Toys in Colorado, and we are enjoying a wonderful private tour of the Polly Pocket exhibit happening right now. So I don't know about you guys, but I was obsessed with Polly Pockets, and when I heard this exhibit was coming, I called right away to say, hey, when can I see it? And this is just bringing back so many amazing memories. Have you had a lot of good feedback so far about the...
We have, yeah, from people, a lot of people our age, because,
right.
I was in elementary and middle school when these were super popular. So a lot of people our age, but also, moms that maybe bought them for their kids and things like that. But it's also really fun because the miniaturists, we have a lot of very fine artisan miniaturists that come here, and they can even appreciate it, because it's bringing that art into something a little bit more tangible, and they can really appreciate that, because not everyone can get into a 1-inch hand-knitted sweater, but you can relate to Polly Pocket.
I love that, and that is exactly what miniatures do, is they help us relate to the world. Each one of these little scenes right here is a different vignette of something happening.
Actually, the one back there, if you can see the boat pops out and it's a ring.
Where's
the orangey one up on the top.
Oh.
The boat pops out and
And you can wear
her.
it. Oh, how
Yeah.
fun.
Isn't that cool?
That is really cool. So are these miniature ones right here? These seem smaller than the other ones.
Yeah, so they are a little smaller version, but they're still early 90s, so they're still under the control of Bluebird Toys at this point. And so Bluebird Toys went through a lot to try to keep Polly Pocket under their umbrella. So these are still Bluebird Toys. They're just a little bit different of a style. You can see they even went a little bigger. The Stamp and School set, you can pull each of those pieces out, and if you have an ink pad, they're all stamps.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, they're really, really neat. They got really inventive with the things, just to keep kids interested and keep them buying more and more and more Polly Pockets.
Absolutely. I sort of remember at one point getting one of these in a Happy Meal.
Yes, they did have them in Happy Meals.
They did, okay.
Yep, absolutely. It was kind of just like, you know, they did all the Disney characters and stuff. They also did a whole line of Polly Pocket toys for Happy Meals. And she has all those.
She has them. So all the ones in this case and the cases we've looked at so far are all the ones that I remember from childhood. And these are all obviously totally complete, never even played with.
Yeah, no, these are definitely the sets of the Untouchables. She had each of them in their own individual bag labeled, and if she did order some of these on eBay to complete a set, she notes if they're missing a piece, but none of these were. So.
Wow, she is an expert.
Yeah, on Polly Pocket, she runs the show.
Huh. So what is happening over here?
So in this case, we have what they call the super sets. And most of these will fit together to kind of create Polly Pocket's world. You're gonna have pet shops and grocery stores and schools and a burger joint. So this is mid-90s, we're talking 95, 94, 96, and you're gonna see them getting slightly bigger, slightly more intricate, and then they're gonna be able to make an entire city, which is...
Wow!
Yeah, it's really, really neat. I mean, they have diving boards that the people can fit in. They have tree houses.
Look at these girls up there in the bridal salon.
Oh yeah, they're getting well taken care of.
A nursery school over here. So basically anything that you could imagine can happen over here in Polly Pocket World. What did you call these? Super Pockets?
Super sets.
Super sets.
Super sets, yeah. And these were actually one of the most popular just because they were so detailed. You have a pizzeria where Polly is serving pizza over here. It's just...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's really, really neat. And then you have, they did specific holiday scenes with Santa Claus as a Polly Pocket. It's just a really unique thing that, I mean, I don't even know if they'll come back. There hasn't been a new release since 2015.
They should.
I know.
Wow, this is so neat. If you guys are just tuning in, we are here live at the Denver Museum of Miniatures, Dolls, and Toys. We are here with the assistant curator, Kelly, and she is giving us a private tour of the Polly Pocket exhibit that just opened up at the museum. If you are in Colorado, definitely get down here and come to this museum and see all of their wonderful installations, as well as the Polly Pocket exhibit, which is happening for how long, Kelly?
It'll be here through the spring of 2017.
Okay. And if you're watching this video and you had a Polly Pocket, share the video and bring back some of those great memories to some of your friends, because Polly Pocket somewhat swept the nation, I'd have to say.
Absolutely.
So this is the super sets right here.
Yep.
And then we move on to...
We're going to go see some Disney Polly Pockets.
So was this different from Polly Pocket? Was this, or were these licensed by Polly Pocket from Disney, or?
So these, I mean, Disney runs the world, right? So once Polly Pocket really took off, Disney worked with Polly Pocket. So,
okay.
Yeah, Disney never owned Polly Pocket. They were always Polly Pocket. And at this time, I believe that they were still Bluebird Toys. So they just created a whole bunch of different scenes. The Snow White seems to be everyone's favorite because you have the witch with the apple.
Oh, yeah.
But these were mid-90s, usually between 95 to 98. And these, some of them, the woman who loaned these to us, she got these in Europe. If you notice on this one, it's in pounds, not dollars.
Oh, yeah.
So she has sets that were specific to England because they're an English company. She also has sets that are specific to Japan because everyone knows Japan is always on the front of anything that's new, especially anything that's tiny. So
isn't that true?
Yeah, these were huge in Japan. Up here, we have some mid-90s. They're Tiny World is what they're called. So these are even smaller. So you're gonna have things like a ring where Polly Pocket comes out of a shell. You're gonna have the set where it's a comb and curl salon.
Wow.
Yeah. This one where she comes out of a little lipstick container. So everything they did even smaller than before. And this one's a little locket where you can keep Polly inside. And it's her little puppy pendant.
How fun is this?
Yeah, and these, to be honest, these are the kinds that I liked because I always would want it to be easy to bring with me, and just to have a pendant or something was really, it was unique.
Fun.
Yeah, and it was new then, Now they do have more toys like that, but back in the day when we were kids, this was a new idea.
That was our jam, man.
That's right. All right, so now you have Bluebird Toys being taken over by Mattel.
Okay, and we definitely see a change in the look of the toy.
Yeah, a huge change. So the toy gets bigger. The toys tend to revolve around the technology of the day. So you have a digital camera.
Oh, wow.
Which now,
And at 1998, that was cutting edge.
Yeah, absolutely. You have flip phones.
Oh, look at that.
Yep, the flip phones. You have flashlights, which are really weird. These two are flashlights. She wouldn't let us open them, obviously, but I'm sure the batteries are dead by now.
Probably.
And then we even had the good old Discman. So that's what it looks like in the package, and then down here it opened up to show Polly in a concert.
Oh, look at her.
Isn't that neat? But, for those of us who grew up with the littler versions, these were
it's a lot different.
Yeah, these were kind of hard to swallow for people.
Yeah, it almost doesn't even look like a Polly Pocket. It's almost a little too big. But you said that they made them big so that children didn't.
Yeah, so kids didn't swallow them.
Yeah.
But if you notice in a lot of these, Polly kind of takes on a more tween look.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, like Bratz were really popular, the Bratz dolls. So, and they were kind of, I don't know, I guess I'll say sexualized a little bit more, the Bratz dolls. And people saw that happening in Polly Pocket after the Mattel takeover, and that kind of upset them.
Yeah, because Polly Pocket's image is very wholesome, and it was very strong and empowering. You see her doing all kinds of good things.
Yeah, Polly's a vet, Polly's a doctor. Polly teaches school, Polly does all these things, and then when you hit the late 90s, early 2000s, Polly's in a midriff. Polly's just a very different character than we were used to seeing. So, but if you didn't grow up with the Pollys that we were used to, these would still have an allure to you. But you couldn't, for me, if I grew up with those, I couldn't have made the transition to these. These just seem so...
It's much different.
It's much different, and it's not what I grew up with. So we always cling to what we grew up with, obviously.
So I saw on your guys' website that you do have some Polly Pockets for sale. Do you have some of the vintage ones that we grew up with, or are they more modern?
We do. She gave us about 20 sets that we could sell in our gift shop. So we do have some of the vintage ones. We have actually some Happy Meal ones.
Awesome.
Still in the package. There's a few that are like pencil toppers and things like that. And I don't know if it's sold yet or not, but we did have the Disney Snow White.
Oh, how
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah.
if you guys are tuning in and you want to buy something from the Miniature Museum, do you guys ship?
Yeah, we've never shipped
You
before, but we could do it.
You could, yeah, that's great because we have people actually tuning in from all over the world right now enjoying your exhibit. So thank you so much for bringing us and Ruby Lane inside for Doll Week to see all of these fantastic pieces of nostalgia. It's just been a treat and a pleasure. Again, we are here with Kelly Wolf. She is the assistant curator of the Denver Miniature Museum. And tell us a little bit about your museum before we sign off.
Sure. So we have been in this location. We're at 1880 Gaylord in Denver, Colorado. So we've been here for a little over 30 years. And we just have everything from Polly Pocket exhibits to antique doll exhibits, railroad exhibits, and probably one of our most popular things is our artisan miniatures. You know, miniatures made out of actual silver, actual gold, really beautiful pieces. It was a volunteer-started museum, and we have a lot of those volunteers still working with us today. So we're just really happy to be able to share this with Ruby Lane. You guys have been great to work with, and if there's anything you guys ever want to see, you just let us know. We'll be here for you.
You are the best. Thank you so much, Kelly.
You're welcome.
Share if you love Polly Pocket. Have a great Saturday, everyone.